Better to be than not to be, I suppose. So, you know, we have division of labor always, especially here in the western part of the world. My job is to talk, your job is to listen. The only thing I ask is if you get done with your job before I get done with my job, not to make too big a fuss of it. Did I really say that? Was that me? Sorry. Don't shoot. Come on. So, you know, it seems like it wasn't very long ago I was here, and I really enjoyed that stay, and my wife Beverly too. And it's great to be back. We were here for Dennis Bryan's CD release party, which was a lot of fun. And last time I was here, the talk title is, this is part of a little small series. It was Vision and Values. I think that one was Belief and Confidence, and this one is Passion and Compassion. And it begins with the vision and values because I think we all have a vision, even for those of us whose vision does not translate into a goal, as the self-help gurus would like to see, and it's not printed in 150 bold, double dark font on our refrigerator. But we have a vision, and we have a vision, and part of fulfilling that vision is determining our purpose. And I think we all have a purpose, just like a vision. If we didn't have a purpose, we wouldn't be here. If we didn't have a purpose, there would be no reason for us to be here. We'd be wherever else there is. So, and I think passion can be used with our vision and purpose in one of two ways. It can either, if we already have an idea what our vision is, what our purpose is, passion, of course, can help us fulfill that. And if we don't already have it articulated in our minds, well, we can use our passions, follow them, to help determine what that vision and what that purpose is. So there's a couple of kinds of with one hand behind my back. There's a couple of different types of passion. And the spiritual passion is one we're all well aware of, and that's the sort of thing that, it's that fire, you know, that we have, that zeal, that enthusiasm, that fervor for something generally involving the world of our senses, the world, of course, in which we live mostly. And we need that. And the fact is, there's never been anything in the history of this world that wasn't accomplished because somebody had that passion. For good or otherwise, by the way. But, you know, passion can be misdirected. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But it's that passion, that physical passion, that just goes away. It's fleeting. It's ephemeral. It doesn't stay with us. It might last for a couple of hours, a couple of days. It might last for years. But eventually, the wind of life can just blow that passion out. I don't know, maybe you've experienced that. We don't come and have one passion, that's all we ever get. I mean, think about it. We've had lots of passions in the course of our lifetime. And so many of them we just don't do anymore. They burn out. They kind of like a candle that's blown out. While the whole candle's there, the flame is gone. It just never got fully used. But the passion I really want to talk about is the spiritual passion. And the difference between them is the flame of that spiritual passion can never burn out before the candle does. It just can't. And it can't because part of our job on this plane is to protect that flame. That flame is our spiritual DNA. That's God calling. That's the divine within us. And it's up to us to keep that. And how we keep that spiritual passion alive is just by staying in touch with our divinity. Now, in times when we don't particularly stay like really close in touch, you know, like sometimes you forget the phone home, and all at once you think, oh my God, it's been weeks since I talked to Mom, I better get on the phone. But we have to keep it going. But it can never burn all the way out. That's that little, what we call sometimes that divine spark within, that little flame that even when it begins to go down, when we're full of that passion, do we feel it? Yep. Absolutely. We're on fire. We're consumed. We're just filled every ounce of our body with this. But spiritual passion, like everything else, sometimes has kind of a cycle to it. We live in the world. Okay, I mean, we're divine beings, but we live in the world, and we have to put up with rules of the world, and we have to experience things of the world while we're traveling, ever growing, ever expanding, closer and closer back to that divinity that we have never really left, but sometimes forget about. In this world, we have cycles. We got cycles of seasons. We got cycles of the moon causing the tides to ebb and flow. We've got cycles of personal relationship. And we can have cycles of spiritual passion. Now, sometimes the saints and the sages and the mystics talk about this when they're referring to that dark night of the soul thing. But the fact is, even when we hit, if you think of a cycle as we do as a circular kind of thing, and we normally think that the bottom of that is the furthermost away. So, but even when we're in that bottom part of the cycle, our spiritual flame is still burning. It's still burning because it's kept safe and secure within the divinity that is our very core. That's the very essence of our being. It will always come back. So sometimes we get to thinking, well, wow, I'm not feeling that passion. Whatever it is I'm doing, whatever it is I'm engaged in, whatever it is I'm involved in, might be the wrong thing. I've missed the boat. I just need to chuck this all in and, go start an organic llama farm or something. But not so. Not so, because we can never lose the spiritual passion. The physical passion can burn out, the spiritual passion cannot. And sometimes, yes, we allow it to wane, but that doesn't make it go away. So, I have a story about passion, and I want to do this by way of the back door. I don't want to give you the story about the spiritual passion and what it is. I'm going to give you a story about the physical passion and sometimes how it can manifest. It seems there was a gentleman who was very passionate about his work in the business world, and he got taken on as the CEO of a very large company. Well, his first day on the job, he's thinking, I got here for passion. I'm going to show these folks that I'm all about that. I'm on fire for this business. And he's taking a tour of the facilities. He walks into this huge open area where there's like dozens, I don't know, maybe even 100 desks full of people. And they're all working. And there's this one young guy leaning up against the wall. And he thinks, here's my opportunity. And he walks right up to him and he says, "You young fellow, how much money do you make?" He'll take it back a little bit. He says, "Well, I make about $700 a week." And he reaches into his pocket, the CEO, he's making a big show of. He peels off $700 bills and he smacks them in the guy's hand. He says, "Now get out of here. This is your last paycheck." So as the door's closing behind him, he looks around all full of himself and he says, "So, who can tell me what that slacker did here?" And one of the guys says,